What's happening, everybody? JayShockblast here, and here's a video I've been thinking about for a little while, and I'm finally here to do it. This is my top 10 favorite playable characters in Marvel Heroes Omega. We are basing this off of the 38 characters currently available on console and the 3 characters that are set to debut next. Those characters include Black Cat, Nightcrawler, and Elektra. So I'm trying to kind of get a little ahead of the curve, and that is why I have Mr. Wagner here, Nightcrawler, because I think based on playing him on PC, there is a possibility he could sneak into my top 10, but he's not there now and he's not out now. So let's go ahead and talk about what my expectations are for my list. As far as characters, they don't necessarily have to be the best characters. There's going to be a character or two on this list that I rate lower as far as who I like versus what I would recommend people buy because of how quote-unquote good they are. Hulk comes to mind. He's going to probably be rated a little bit lower on my top 10 list, but as far as powerful characters, useful characters, I'd actually probably rate them higher. This is not the best characters based on what they do, their synergies, anything purely besides how they play and how much I enjoy playing them. So I wanted to make sure I established that right from the start. This is purely based on my enjoyment of playing the characters. There are obviously going to be some factors that play into it, like, you know, certain powers and even synergies that I might say, hey, you know, this does play a little bit of a factor, but it's not the be-all, end-all. It's just purely little contributing factors to what makes me enjoy the game and stuff like that. But I did want to start off on PC showing off Nightcrawler, who is coming after Black Cat, from what I understand. And, you know, we'll go from there. And obviously the list could change as new characters come out, Spider-Woman being one of them. We don't know when Carnage is coming to console, and having already played Carnage on PC, I could definitely see him making the list as well. And obviously there are some characters that are not available on PC, on the console, that I would actually probably make this list. And some of those characters may include but are not limited to Black Bolt, and let's see, Silver Surfer would possibly make that list. So I mean, there's others possibly as well, but we'll leave it at that. So without any further ado, let's look at my top 10 favorite characters on console in Marvel Heroes Omega. At number 10 on my list, we have Magik. This is obviously the sister of Colossus, especially with her Phoenix Force costume. I absolutely love playing with Magik. I think she's a really fun character. She's got some cool powers that let her summon, that let her do range magical attacks. Everything that she does just really looks awesome, and I just love this costume as well. She's a fun character to play with, one of the most popular characters on the PC, and I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy playing with Magik. Also, let's check out her Marvel Now. This is her standard costume with her sword. So Magik is number 10 on my list. At number 9, we have Psylocke, and Psylocke has 2 different costumes available at the moment, also her Lady Mandarin costume, but Psylocke is just another really awesome character, one of the few characters that I just enjoy playing, a little bit of ranged, a little bit of melee. She has some really cool psionic powers and energy powers that really make it a lot of fun to play. I would love her House of M costume to make its way over to the console because it is also just an absolutely gorgeous costume. This is a character that I really love playing on PC and on console. She might even make it into my top, actually no, maybe not on PC, but when it comes to console, Psylocke is a ton of fun and definitely a character you should consider. At number 8, we have Hulk. Like I said, Hulk is a character that I have rated maybe a little bit lower than I would have him if I was rating the quote-unquote best characters in the game. But as far as I'm concerned, Hulk is he's just such a powerful character, along with Deadpool, probably one of the two most powerful characters in the game. Definitely a character, especially now that he's only 200 Eternity Splinters or 400 G, a character that I think a lot of people should be considering when they're making their first purchase. He is just a beast. There's no other way to put it. I think I love playing him, don't get me wrong, but I think some of his powers are not necessarily entertaining, if you will. He does a lot of the same kind of smash, which for a lot of people is great. I think you're going to love it, but there's only so much punching the ground I really love doing. So I think because he is so powerful, there are times that he can be a little less interesting. And I'm not really a big Hulk fan in general, so that's part of the reason why maybe he's not rated a little bit higher. He does have a great synergy, though, plus 6% health, so that's always one of the first ones I go to. He was the third character on both Xbox and PlayStation that I made sure I got to level 60. So at number 8, we have Hulk. At number 7, we have Angela, and Angela is the sister of Thor, formerly from the Spawn universe, I believe. Marvel brought her over as the bastard sister of Thor, daughter of Odin, but not with Frigga, and she is so much fun to play. Very underappreciated character, a character I don't think a lot of people know very well. This 1602 costume for Angela, quite frankly, could be my favorite costume in the game. I love and adore Angela. She is one of the few kind of melee characters that I just really like. She has her ribbon powers and her awesome sword. Definitely just a really great and powerful character. A character I think a lot of people are really going to love that you might not even consider because, let's face it, not a lot of people that don't read comics very religiously are going to know exactly who Angela is. So, because she is so cheap, for a long time, I was telling people, man, you should really consider buying Nova and Angela with your initial Eternity Splinters. Now it really comes down to Nova, Hulk, Angela, and maybe there's 2 or 3 others that are really strong, but Angela is definitely one of those cheaper, low-tier characters that I think a lot of people are going to start running around with, especially once you see how powerful she is. I believe she also gives you a really good synergy. I want to say it's +1 to speed, so that's also something to consider too. So at number 7, we have Angela. At number 6, we have Ghost Rider, and this is a character that I actually enjoy quite a bit more on console than I do on PC. He's a really great character, and I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy him. One of the best aspects of Ghost Rider is the fact that you can ride his motorcycle once you get to level 10. There's nothing cooler than this. I mean, there are very few travel powers that are going to be nearly as fun as Ghost Rider. He has a lot of really awesome animations with his powers, and just having the skull on fire is just a really phenomenal part of the game. So we've also got his original costume here. Ghost Rider, he's just pretty awesome, man, and I'm glad I've listened to a lot of people as far as telling me that we should go ahead and play the Ghost Rider. There he is, man. How do you get much cooler than that? So at number 7, we have a Ghost Rider. At number 5, we have Thor. This should not be much of a surprise. My dog's name is Thor. I love Thor. The God of Thunder is a ton of fun to play here. Very powerful character. A lot of people are really going to enjoy him. He's got a few different costume options. We have Jane Foster, who is going to die soon. That's awesome. And then you've got the Age of Ultron costume. And then you have, well, actually, this one has with sleeves. And then you've got his movie costume. I love Thor, man. Obviously, anytime you love a character enough to name your dog after him, the character is definitely a great one that you know somebody is going to love.
Greetings.
I'm actually kind of surprised. There's two characters that I've really kind of just loved playing with on console that kind of surpassed him. For the longest time, Thor was my number 3. They've made a little bit of changes, and if he played a little bit like he used to on the PC, I think Thor would have been 3 on my list. But I've got him down here at 5 because of a couple little changes that make his powers kind of run a little low. Whereas on PC, he was just way more fun. So a little bit of a surprise there, but the rare character that drops from PC on console, whereas a lot of the characters I end up liking more on console. But yeah, number 5 is Thor. Shouldn't be a huge shock. At number 4, we have Iceman, and this is probably the character that has changed the most for me from how I feel about them versus console versus PC. I don't think Iceman even sniffs my top 10 on PC. I know there's more characters there, but still, he doesn't even come close. And on console, he's so much more fun to play, and I find him all the way at number 4 on my list. He's got 3 costumes. You start with his modern. I mean, I especially love his Age of Apocalypse costume now that I finally have it. He is just such a really awesome character. His powers are fun. He's got a few summon powers, and he's got a few other things going on. So nice range stuff. He's got his own kind of Nova Beam. You can do your spin to win with him. So and then he's got this fun travel power. So there's that. But man, I just think Iceman, they did such a great job transitioning him from PC over to console. And like I said, this is definitely the character that has made the biggest jump when it comes to how much I liked him on PC versus how much I like him on console. So at number 4, we have Iceman. At number 3 on my list, we have Iron Man, and this is his Star Boost costume, one of my favorites in the game. Love this costume. And I am not even actually the biggest of Iron Man fans. He would definitely make my top 10 on the PC, but he would not be nearly as high as number 3. Iron Man is a lot of fun to play on console. I think they've streamlined his powers just enough to make him very fun to play, very interesting to play. The only downside I've found is I do run out of suit power a little bit, but other than that, I have just absolutely loved playing as Iron Man. Obviously, Iron Man has a ton of different armor suits, and they kind of show that quite a bit on the PC. He's got his Ultron Mark 43 costume. He's got his Extremis armor, which actually looks really cool on console. Very shiny. Not a costume I ever really used much on PC. Like a lot of people, I'm hoping we get to see the Hulkbuster make its way over to the console, but that comes with a slightly different set of powers, but I digress. So at number 3, we have Iron Man. At number 2 on my list, we have Deadpool, and this shouldn't be much of a surprise to people. Deadpool is 1A or 1B as far as my favorite comic book characters is concerned, and shocker, both of them are in my number 1 and 2 slots. I decided to put Deadpool here for a couple of reasons. Number 1 being that spin to win does make it a little less interesting. He has his power Canadian Devil, and that can cause, I don't want to say makes it boring, but it's not nearly as challenging. I'm not saying that because I want anything to change. I actually like the spin to win aspect. It's just not as interesting as my number 1. What is more interesting and extremely interesting is the Deadpool Kid costume. This costume is fantastic. I've had it on PC for a long time. but I have found myself walking around. I want to just make a video where I walk around and listen to the banter that Deadpool gives against other characters as the Deadpool kid, because some of the things he says are just phenomenal. Whether he's regular Deadpool or Deadpool kid, I actually, just as I was making the video, or just about to start making the video, I heard Deadpool walk by Daredevil, and he ended up saying, if you think about it, Daredevil only makes sense if we know you're blind. And it's kind of funny. I never really thought of it that way. But man, it's pretty funny, because, like, sure, you know, Daredevil jumps around and does whatever, and I guess that's daring and Daredevil-ish when anybody does it. But when you consider the fact that he's blind, mind blown. But you're going to have a ton of fun playing as Deadpool. With Hulk, probably one of the 2 most powerful characters in the game. You cannot go wrong with Deadpool. I think everybody's going to love him. He is one of the more expensive characters in the game, kind of like Iron Man, but totally worth it. If you get yourself the Deadpool pack, you will not regret it. So number 2 is Deadpool. At number 1, we have Richard Rider Nova Prime. This should not surprise anybody. I don't even care. I know that there's some people that get a little salty about it for some weird reason, but I am calling myself Mr. Nova Prime in Marvel Heroes. That is right. I am the number 1 Nova player NA worldwide. That's right. I am so in love with this character in this game. Richard Rider has been my favorite character with Deadpool for a very long time, and I think it's one of those things where absence makes the heart grow fonder. But where Nova died, Rich Rider died, I should say, and he was out of the Marvel Universe for quite a bit, just recently came back, and I think part of that is the reason why Nova and Richard Rider in general have crept up and become such a favorite character of mine. We spend so much time talking about Nova in my live streams, and I never get sick of it, and I always love it, and I don't regret it. I just can't think of a more fun character to play in this game for me. Love his powers. I love dashing around. I love, you know, he's got a little bit of a spin to win as well with his Nova Beam. But I don't know, man. Like, Nova is... This game, on top of that absence makes the heart grows fonder, is why Nova has grown to be probably my favorite comic book character of all time. Like, it's hard for me to say that because I still love Deadpool so much, and I think the perfect storm of Deadpool's oversaturation and Nova, Richard Rider's version, being dead for so long, I think those two things are a huge reason why I've just grown to love the character. And having him be the first character I ever took to Cosmic Prestige, and just playing so much with Nova in this game, is probably the other. Like, I adore this character in this game. I even like the Black Vortex Sam Alexander suit. Like, this is probably one of my top 10 costumes in the game, without a shadow of a doubt. It's right there with Angela's 1602. He's a cheap character. I know that there are tons of people that are playing this game that bought Nova because I just preach him incessantly. And yes, there are some people that have played him that have said, you know, I don't know how I feel about Nova. He's not really as fun as you make him out to sound. And that's always one of the things that scares me a little bit about, you know, preaching so hard about a character I love so much and feel so passionately for as a character. So, you know, it is what it is, though. So we're going to just actually run to Midtown real quick, and I'm going to drop his ultimate. And that is going to be it. My top 10 characters in Marvel Heroes Omega. This is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A lot of fun to make, and definitely Nova is a great character that you should... Oh, I don't have him at level 60 anymore. Nova is a character that you should definitely consider with your initial purchase, if you will. You won't regret it. So, hope you enjoyed the video again, and we'll see you. What's your top 10 characters in the Marvel Heroes Omega? I did this all in one take, by the way. So I did cut some stuff, but everything was just one take. So yeah, your top 10. Also, when considering buying characters in this game, whether you're using G or whether you're using Eternity Splinters, always remember you can play every character to level 10 before you buy them. I highly recommend it. Me telling you to buy these characters should not be the #1 reason you do it. Always consider how you feel about them, and I hope you guys are enjoying the game. We'll see you for real this time.